This is Casey on American Top 40 in Hollywood. Wouldn't you expect a girl with musical talent to be strongly influenced by a father who was a professional singer? Well, coming up is a hit by a woman who was influenced by her father's career. She swore she would never go into show business.
It's from coast to coast. American Top 40.
Here's 24-year-old Maxine Nightingale, who makes her home in London, England. Second week at number 2, with a record that's been in the top 10 for 7 weeks. Right back where we started from. Maxine Nightingale at number 2 on the countdown with Right Back Where We Started From.
American Top 40.
Well, now, my story of that woman in the countdown who once had to choose between a singing career and her marriage. She chose career. You know, sometimes to prove yourself, you've got to go through some truly heartbreaking experiences. For Maxine Nightingale, proving to herself that she could be a successful singer meant having to leave her husband, set designer Minoru Terada. As Maxine told us, I met my husband in Germany when we were both working on the musical Hair. I went to Japan to live with him, but he didn't approve of anything I wanted to do. My husband doesn't like pop music at all and wanted me to adapt to just being a wife. I wanted to do some work, and I decided to do what I wanted. End of quote. So what Maxine did was to leave her husband for her career. And 6 months later, she hit number 2 with Right Back Where We Started From. That was back in '76. And for the past several weeks, she's had a second hit in the countdown. Well, now that Maxine has proved she can do it, she's going back to her husband. She told us, being apart from him has changed a lot of things for me. I've been trying to be somebody else, but I forgot the person he fell in love with was also me. This time, I think I might be going back for good. Or, in the words of her first hit, Maxine is planning to go right back where she started from. Meanwhile, her latest single continues to climb up the charts. At number 15, Maxine Nightingale and Lead Me On. Maxine Nightingale on American Top 40, moving up 2 notches to number 15 with Lead Me On.
American Top 40.
Well, now, we're up to a hit by a woman who says that she was so influenced by her father's career as a performer that she swore she'd never go into show business. I'm talking about Maxine Nightingale. Maxine recently told us that growing up in England and watching her father perform in cabarets played a very strange role in her own career. Maxine said, "It was because of my father that I decided at an early age never to become a singer. He was one of those people who try and try forever, always thinking that success is just around the corner. He was always trying in the cabarets, and I found it humiliating that a person would give so much for the sake of the business." Maxine went on to tell us that it was years later that she came to realize that her father hadn't really been unsuccessful in show business. He just hadn't become a star. And she says that this realization that you don't have to be a star to be successful helped her a lot when she was starting out. Well, these days, Maxine is successful. She's had 2 smashes to her credit. With the latest of them, here's Maxine Nightingale at number 29 with Lead Me On.
Lead me on. Come on and tease me all night long.
Maxine Nightingale and a former top 5 record falling from 17 to 29 this week.
American Top 40.
This is AT40's special countdown of the 50 top hits of 1979. This next song is by a woman who followed Shakespeare's advice, "To thine own self be true," and left her husband. He wanted her to be a housewife. She wanted to be a singer. So Maxine Nightingale went out and sang, very successfully. Her big hit, Lead Me On, is number 24 for the year.
Loving you.
A top 5 hit last summer. That's Maxine Nightingale with Lead Me On, number 24 in our countdown of the 50 top hits of the past year. I'm Casey Kasem on American Top 40.
Casey's got